All right, welcome, Children of Fate. This is Heavy Metal and Booze, and we're here with September Mourning. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you guys are doing like a little Midwest tour?
Yeah. We're just doing a couple of radio shows and some support shows with a bunch of different bands, like Dead Set Society and From Ashes to New and Red Sun Rising, to name a few. Yeah.
All right, cool. And so thanks for coming back to town.
Yeah, of course.
You guys have always been pretty good to this venue. I think I've seen you 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I think we've been here about 3 times. Yeah.
And the last time I saw you guys were doing little acoustic shows at the comic book stores.
Yeah, that's been fun. That was really fun. We did a headline tour this fall, and we had all these little acoustic things before we would play at night, electric, and we would get to know the comic book store people, the owners, and everything like that. And then a lot of fans showed up, and it was kind of fun. A little meet and greet.
So yeah, so this is the comic right here I have. And I heard there's a new comic coming out?
Yeah, so there's a graphic novel coming out January 16th called September Mourning, the complete collection, and that'll be available through Image Comics and Top Cow Comics at your local comic book store. You can go into your local comic book store now and pre-order them if you want.
Is it going to be a continuation or an addition?
So this is the first 2 issues, the one you have in your hand, and then the graphic novel is actually 4 issues altogether, and it's 1 story arc, all 4 issues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thick one, huh?
Yeah.
Probably like 100 pages or more.
Probably a little over 100 pages, 120 or something like that.
So you have shows coming up, Madison, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, New York or Newport, Kentucky, and then back home to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So that's easy. Any plans for 2019?
Graphic novel coming out. We actually have new music coming out at the end of the year too.
Yeah, we're releasing a song in December called Glass Animals, sometime in December. And
before the new year.
Yeah, before the new year.
Oh, so quickly.
Yeah,
quickly.
I mean, honestly, we wanted it to be out before this run, but just because of timing things, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But it will be out before the end of the year.
Yeah. So you can
Just a single then?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like we did with Empire, we're
Yeah.
doing the same thing with this one.
Will you be playing it live on this run?
You're going to hear it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay,
We've only played it live twice, ever.
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
The first...
So.
Well, actually, wait, this was... Yeah, wait, hold on. Tonight's the second time. I keep losing track.
Yeah, no, it is,
Between rehearsals and working on the songs so
Yeah.
much, I feel like we've done it more. But no,
Yeah.
the first time we ever played it was Kansas City 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
The first show.
Yeah, so this is the
Yeah,
second
it'll be
time
fun.
ever.
Cool, and it's got a good response and everything.
Yeah, people seem to like it.
So, you guys want to introduce yourself? I know you're lead guitar,
I'm Riven.
Riven. And
September.
yeah, okay. And okay then. So, any other plans for 2019? Then? Well, I mean, like when the comic comes out, you think you'll do?
Yeah, I mean, the graphic novel comes out January 16th to comic stores, but then it actually hits like Barnes and Noble and bookstores the 22nd. So there's like a little delay between comic book stores and regular bookstores. And then we're going to be at the NAMM convention in January, and we're probably going to be doing like a short mini set at the Legator Guitars booth.
Like an acoustic?
No.
Electric.
Yeah, electric.
Oh wow, full stage and everything.
Well, no.
not full
At their booth. So what they do is like, they're I work with them. Like they give me guitars and stuff like that.
We're endorsed by them.
Yeah. So they have a booth at the convention, and probably she and I'll just go, and I'll play my 8-string, and then have like a computer playing like.
Drums.
Yeah, just something small, just to showcase us with the guitars and everything. So we'll do that at NAMM. I'm just waiting on more details. And then we have a tour that we're going to be doing in March. It hasn't been announced yet, so I can't say who it is. But I believe we're going to announce that right after this tour's done. So in about 2 weeks, right before Christmas, we'll announce that tour for March.
To go along with the single, like
yeah,
you got a lot of things.
Yeah, and that's our thing. Is like we have a lot of new music finished, but we're not going to just unload it. We're kind of like releasing it when we want to, and just at a consistent pace.
Yeah, because now it's a Spotify world, so everybody, kind of does singles now and more concentrated on that. And then probably at the end of next year, we'll probably do an album. So or release everything as an album.
Yeah, okay. So then those songs will be on the album too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the kind of, it's kind of like rethinking it. Usually a band will like release the entire album and then choose singles off of it to focus on throughout the year.
Yeah.
For us, it's more we'll get a bunch of content done, just like when you get the comic books done and then you release it. So for us, it's like get music done, release it at specific times that make sense, and then take everything we've already done, add some more to it that you haven't heard, and then sell that.
Like bonus.
It's like
tracks.
the greatest hits of the year.
Yeah.
kind of idea.
But yeah, we like the whole putting content out in a consistent flow. So I think that's like the new way of doing stuff nowadays. I think a lot of hip hop artists have been doing that successfully for years now, and I think that rock is a little bit behind the times on that. But I think that we're slowly starting to see that happening. So we're trying that out on this album to see how it goes.
And plus, just for us as creators, like there's what we're into, and then there's like what we get influenced by, new around us, and we get inspired by different things. And so for us, we want to take those things that get us excited and give us little sparks of ideas, and like do it and get it out there to people while we're still excited about it. Not do something and then maybe a year later you'll hear what's relevant to us. Basically just like really trying to live the cycle of everything. But that just requires like really being on top of stuff and like grind, and doing it.
Yeah, it makes sense, because otherwise you put out an album and then it's 4 years. You'll tour on that album or something.
Yeah. Well, and plus the way things are today, you put something out and people will love it for a month, but then they want more. Whereas like if you give them a song, they're gonna want more, but you only gave them one.
They have to enjoy that one first.
Yeah, and it's a better. I guess it's quality problems. It's a better problem for everyone to be upset they don't have more stuff.
Yeah.
Than
waiting for.
Then to give them everything, and then for you to be like, but I can't give you more, because I just gave you a dozen songs, and now for one you can't like manufacture creativity. It's hard. To get the right song out. To get it finished, and on top of that, it just costs money. And so so doing it like this, we can keep everyone consistently engaged and chomping at the bit without messing up our timeline and flow of things.
It's like Christmas. If you just opened one present a day, you could make
that
it
excitement
last.
every single day for the entire month.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than just one 2 hour.
Yeah. You did it, and then you're super excited for that 2.5 hours, and then you're like, but I want more.
Yeah.
But there's nothing left. You're not going to get any more because it's done. So that's kind of the way we're looking at everything.
Will you be able to write on the road at all? Is there any time for you guys?
No, not really. We mostly we're very busy on the road, so we tend to write when we're in a place where we can actually do it. We don't have any recording gear really on the road with us. He comes up with riff ideas and things like that, and compiles those.
We don't. I guess there's two versions of writing. There's like writing the song, and there's brainstorming.
Lyrics.
Well, I'm saying brainstorming.
Oh, okay.
I brainstorm a sound check.
He came up with a really cool riff this afternoon.
When I'm at sound check, hearing the room echo with a big PA, I put my fingers in some place. It hits me a certain way. I start noodling around, and then she looks at me and goes, "Remember that."
And then do you record it or write it down or?
No. Because
if it's good enough, he'll remember it. If it's not, he won't remember.
Yeah, I'll remember some variation of it.
Yeah.
Does that count as like your practice time too?
Yeah, because I mean,
like what since you're playing live, that's your practice time.
Yeah, because it's like
we have sound checks, so we go through a couple songs.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still a very DIY band. Even for the level of stuff that we do between the makeup and the costume, the comics, and all that production, we still pretty much are doing that ourselves. And I still do all the driving and stuff. So it's like, it's not like I get to sleep in a bunk all day while somebody drives a bus, and then I show up and I'm sitting around going, I'm so bored until we play.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's like, she and I.
You gotta unload and.
Yeah, we're all dealing with loading, setting up, answering emails. Like she and I.
And my makeup takes 3 hours from start to finish. Like I need to start getting ready even more right now, and it's like like it's a very tight schedule. So
So we're always on the move day to day.
How long does it take off?
It's like 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, it's easy to take off. That's just baby oil and a little bit of a glycol cleanse, and I'm good. but yeah, putting it on is hard.
Wow. And then the whole like leather
Costume,
thing.
Yeah, so, and the wig and everything with that. So yeah.
So we don't get like specific like writing time, but like I said, we brainstorm and we like compile just like ideas so that when we know we're off the road, and there's like a circle of people that we write with that we bounce ideas off of, and we have like really good, even though they're not in the band.
Oh, really?
It feels like they are the band, musically,
that's cool.
with how we do things.
Wow.
So then we take those things that we brainstormed now, and then we go with them, and then like
Hammer it out.
Yeah.
Lyrics and music.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is like
I mean, I come up with lyrics usually before, or ideas for them, and then usually in a writing session, what'll happen is we'll do music and we'll do some melodies, and then I'll go somewhere and I'll just write the song, write the lyrics, and then I'll come back like when we were working with our friend Josh, like we would write the music, come up with some melodies, and then I'm like, okay, this is good, and then I'd go to the Sprinter and I'd just sit there and I'd write like for an hour, and I just write lyrics and come up with something, and then come down and be like, I got it, and then we track it. So.
She's the queen of, the way it would go is like she would have like some general ideas of a song, like theme or title, and then I'd bring like my riffs or my chords or structure ideas, and then we'd work on all that musical bed. So she's thinking of that theme the entire time as we're like agreeing on the musical bed, and then as soon as we know that like the verse chorus is what it is, she goes off and she'll come back an hour later and have the verse and chorus lyrics written to the melody and everything we did. Like she's like a magician with that. Like when the right stuff is there, she will come back and
it just depends on the music, and like Rich is really great at kind of like feeding me like guitar ideas and and melodic sort of like music that spurs like a creativity, like, and it's all about like having a good writing chemistry with your writing partners. Like that's a big thing in writing songs, because I've been in rooms where they're really great writers, but we all just couldn't see eye to eye. Like we just didn't have any chemistry. Everybody's a great writer in the room, but there was just no chemistry in the room, and so it's a whole thing. Like, and when you find that with somebody, you stick with them because it's a good thing.
Yeah. That's pretty cool then. That they're not even in the band, but they.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of bands do that now, where the band isn't necessarily like the unit that writes all the songs. And for us, it's a little bit different though, because like this band didn't start as like the band. She started the project with the idea of all of it. And
the storyline and the whole thing. Like that all came first before the music even started.
Oh.
So, it all stands.
So that explains the mystery.
Yeah.
But it's not like 5 people, like 4 dudes and a girl, met each other and said, "Hey, let's start jamming," and then started writing songs together.
That's what people think.
That's traditionally that's how it was.
Yeah.
Some bands are still like that, but now I'd say it's more dynamic in like the different ways that people create. When you see a band, it's not always the band that makes the music. It might be one person, or sometimes, I mean, sadly to say, sometimes no one in the band has anything to do with the music that's in their band. Honestly, it's the producer.
There's a bunch of bands like that nowadays that are on radio that people are like, "Oh my god, this band's great," and I'm like, that band hasn't written anything.
Especially in pop.
Yeah, but
well,
honestly,
no, I'm talking about rock.
We're talking about bands you hear on Octane.
No, there's a lot of bands on radio right now that don't write their own songs. I know one new band that didn't write their whole first debut album.
Oh wow!
They didn't write anything.
But that's.
But the album did good for them, and so everybody's like, "Wow, you wrote great songs."
Yeah.
I remember the singer. I was talking to one of the producers, and he was all mad because like the singer had no idea what the songs were about. So she would go into these interviews, and she was just fucking it up, like and so the producer was like talking to the label, going, "You gotta like tell her what these are about. Like she can't be like it looks really bad." But that's kind of like, it's really sad. I think that's really sad.
That's the extreme end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think that I think it's better when like like Rich and I, we're in the room, we're doing our jobs, and then we have a little help here and there to get different sort of like flavors into the music. I think that's how projects should work, in my opinion, is that you should have your bed, and then you just add little, like, it's like baking a cake. We have our cake, and then somebody brings some icing, maybe puts on a rose.
We know that somebody
like that.
actually
But
can make a better cream icing.
Yeah,
than we can make.
or we want a vanilla cream instead of a butterscotch, or like, and we go to different people for different butterscotch or vanilla or what, like, so, I mean, I think but we have the cake, and the cake is us.
It's still our guidance. And it's still our ship.
Yeah, we're still.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what makes, a project really great, is when the artist has the vision, and it's
They're
real.
the foundation.
And I think people.
And then
can
once you
sense
start
it.
playing, it's gonna sound like your song.
But I mean, but the fact that she and I are the ones sitting in the studio as it's being done, it sounds,
And I'm
like
writing
our
the
songs.
lyrics, and
Yeah. I mean, the only difference would be that the songs on the first album that came out on Sumerian, those songs were written with her and a few other people before I was in the band, versus the songs we're writing now, I'm directly in the room with her. So that's the only way it's changed, is that I'm the other guitar player as opposed to the other people before.
So he's bringing a different musical element to it, which I really love, and like it's made I think it's really expanded our sound and made it really great. So.
But at the end of the day, it's still, she and I are the core of what's going on, and that's not faked or contrived. Like that. So everything that you're seeing happen and hearing is from the core.
And even like
though
the
traditionally it's
costuming,
not the whole band.
and even the
we are
costuming
band.
and the art, and like everything comes from what I founded this band on, what I created. So it all comes from me and my imagination.
Did you create that whole outfit?
I designed it, and they did, the character basically was based on my designs, and then I have a friend of mine that helps me make it, like actually construct it, because I don't really construct costuming, and it has to bend a certain way, move a certain way, or else it doesn't work. So I had to like bring
She
in
collaborated
heavy,
on the costume the same way we collaborate with
the music,
writers.
because you know what you're good at, you know what you can't do. So as long as you know that, then you're like, okay, look, I have this great idea. How do I make this? And I get my
Like where do you find that and everything?
the wig and stuff like that. I mean, one of my friends makes wigs for RuPaul's Drag Race, and so he's like, "You want me to make you a wig?" And I was
Did
like,
you say RuPaul?
Yeah,
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, wow.
And he does all the wigs for that. So like, he's like, "Well, you want me to, make you a wig?" And I was like, "I would love that. Can it look like this, 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 this?" He's like, "I can do whatever you want. Give me."
And I gotta be able to headbang, and I gotta be able
give
to.
me a sketch. Let me know what you want to do. So I sketched out, and I gave it to him. And then I'm sponsored and endorsed by Rockstar Wigs, so they gave me like a foundational wig so that we could build on it for my wig, and that's how that shit gets done.
Cool.
Yeah, but I have to start getting ready.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll look forward to the single by the end of the year,
Yep.
by the end of the month, and also the
And
new
please
comic.
pre-order the comic book at your local comic book.
Is there a title that they should look for?
September
If you-
Mourning,
yeah,
the complete collection.
Yeah, if you go to Image Comics website or topcow.com, or you just search September Mourning on those sites, and it has a pre-order.
It's up
link.
now.
Yeah, so basically you can do it online at those websites, imagecomics.com or topcow.com, or your local store, as long as they have your Marvel and DC and Image comic titles, because it's Diamond distribution. If they carry comics that come through Diamond, it's in their system. You can
And they're-
pre-order it at your local comic
And
book
they're a
store.
big distribution company for comic books, so they should have
Cool.
it.
So you can order it at your local store, order it online, and then and we have some things we're brewing for ideas about the release, like possible in-store maybe celebration somewhere around here. We're just trying to decide what we want to do.
Yeah. Come back and do a little jam.
Do something for the day it comes out. We'll have to see how it goes with our schedule.
Also, be sure to follow us on Spotify. Check out the new music on Spotify. We have that track Empire up. That's really cool, and it's on a bunch of playlists. So be sure to follow us on Spotify, subscribe, and keep in touch on there.
And,
Cool.
and definitely want to thank Freak at the radio station.
Yes.
At Q Rocks.
Did you go do an acoustic set?
Yeah.
Last
we
night
did.
we went to Top Fuel Saloon.
Oh,
Yeah.
He made an event yesterday afternoon. So it was like a very guerrilla last minute
yeah,
thing.
it must have been.
Yeah. So he posted there's about 20, 30 people there. And we
And
played.
you had the full. Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we-
I can't. I gotta get undressed and you guys.
Oh,
Makes
okay.
sense. So we played like 4 songs, and then he fed us, and we hung out all night and slept at Top Fuel.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks to Freak for everything.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot, guys.
Bye. Cool. Thank you.